YouTube channel. Tonight we have my good friend Sheila Renee Roeder. She's here with me tonight, and we were going to have Trish with us earlier too. She's feeling a little tired tonight. I totally understand. We were going to have Sheila no matter what one of these days this week, so tonight's a good time as any. And she's one of the people that I really trust. I love what she has to offer and say, and she would be a good person for anyone to listen to, the things that she has to offer. And from that, and with that said, Sheila, we want to go ahead and take it from there. How
Hi,
you doing
Lisa.
tonight? Everything good?
Didn't we just get done talking?
Just do this, yeah.
Yeah. So, what were we talking about that kind of pushed
So
it?
we started. Well, you and I kind of stopped the other night. Well, what did we not talk? There's a lot we didn't cover, but we did
Well, I think
go
we were
into the
talking,
spiritual side of it as
yeah,
well.
but tonight I think we were talking about Carl. We
Yes.
were talking about Carl.
Yeah.
So Carl said to me, and I think this is where we left it. When I first got sick, he said, "Do you believe in God?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "That's good because you're not gonna make it without
Amen
it."
to that
And
one.
that is the truest story that
Yeah.
I've ever heard.
Yes. Amen.
This is really overwhelming, everything that we've been through. It's not just a physical thing with the Morgellons. And not everybody that has Morgellons is spiritually awake either.
That's right.
I just want to say that. I mean,
That is true. You nailed that. That's correct.
it's not. But um, for some of us, and I used to think it was unlucky to have it. I want to say that too. I thought I was unlucky, and I kept saying, "I want my life back. I want my life back." But I don't say that anymore. I don't say that at all. I am glad that I am glad for this opportunity that I have to see the real truth and to prepare myself for what's to come.
What's
Because you
coming?
just, what's that?
You're preparing yourself for what's coming. What is right?
Yeah, what is coming?
Mm-hmm.
We're living it. It's
We're living it,
revelation.
and that's, I guess, the point I wanted to hope that we touch on tonight. People don't realize we're
We're
living in it.
absolutely there.
Yeah,
We're absolutely there.
100%.
I mean, when I got Morgellons, I knew that this was something evil. I worked in the medical field. This is not normal. Skin and your body doesn't heal this way. This is not normal.
No,
None of this is what's coming in and out of us. Not normal. What we're seeing, not normal. And I used to think that I was cursed. But that's not true either. The devil doesn't want you if he already has you.
yep.
So,
Hi, Sheila Loya.
hello.
We got Sheila
Is
Loya
that
with us
another
here tonight.
Sheila?
She's an amazing person.
Is that another Sheila?
It is another Sheila. We got two Sheilas here tonight. Yay!
You don't ever hear that name. Hello, Sheila.
Right? Yeah,
I get to
yeah.
say
I
my
used to
own
get you
name.
two kind of confused because she's a lot like us. So,
Hmm.
so I'm sorry. Go on.
Nope. So, and then then you have all you know, the signs. I mean, they're just there. I mean,
Every sign's
from
best.
Wormwood, some call it
Yep.
Nibiru, some call it Nemesis, call it whatever you want it, Planet X. I don't really
Either way, it's the same
care
damn
what you
thing.
call it. It's here. It's here. And,
Betcha.
you know, um, then you got the statues going up at the UN. And if you pick up Revelation 13:2 and you read it, it describes the statue that went up at the UN.
Mm-hmm.
And when they say peace and security, sudden destruction comes upon mankind. And then you have CERN, who they've openly admitted that they tore the veil. Their grand opening ceremony was so demonic that I had to go pray and I couldn't even finish watching it. It was disgusting. You know, they got the
Yeah.
goddess Bathsheba out in front. I mean,
Because that's not a dead giveaway, but nobody thinks about
yeah,
that.
yeah, no, no, no. And then, if that's all just not enough for you, then you got
Yeah.
the crazy, you know what, coming with the you
Hmm.
know what.
Yeah,
And
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, you do.
Preaching to
And
my choir right there.
yeah, and they call it the Luciferian race that makes you
Hmm.
glow so that you can go and, be a part of everything in this whole big old world. You
Yeah.
know, Luciferian race, seriously? Like that's right in your face, And 666, you can't get no. It's in your face.
Everywhere
What
you
do they
look.
say? The carbon molecule or whatever. I'm no science person, but it's
Hmm.
666. You can't get no more sixes in that.
You can't. That's
No,
right.
no.
It
So
is
I'm like,
everywhere.
no. And then, and then the Bible just goes right along with it. The Bible talks about it.
Right.
The Bible says, iron and clay will not cleave, and who's Lucifer? Who is he? The prince of the air, so you got 5G, you know, and there's nice little trails up in the sky, you know.
Yeah. How about those trails?
Yeah, how about that?
Happy
They go up and
trails.
down, and we play
All
checkers up
around
there.
crisscrossing. Yeah. How about
Yeah, yeah,
those?
yeah, it's really great.
Yeah. Not evaporating too quickly, are they?
I know. No, no, they
Crazy.
stay there for a real long time, but nobody, and always over the sun, but nobody ever gets upset about that.
Wonder why it's over the sun. Let me think.
Oh, maybe because there's two.
Maybe because they're trying to block maybe a planet out or a secondary sun because something's
Yeah, or
coming.
maybe just God's judgment because he's sick of our bullshit.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, it was written just about that. People will be going to and fro. I mean,
Yeah.
people lose compassion and love for one another. I mean, all of
I
it's
don't think we
written.
can get any colder, can we, sister?
No, I can't see. Well, I mean, I guess it could always get worse because I think it will before it gets where we're going, so to
I
speak.
don't
But
know. I had to learn a lot real quick.
there's
And
lots of growing, huh?
it's not that I didn't know. That's the sad part of it. But I chose not to do anything about it. So a lot of these holidays that we celebrate are pagan.
Almost all of them, if not all of them.
Yeah, and not for anything. This past year, these holidays, and because I can see what's up there and
Uh-huh.
around us, it gives them a lot of power. The lightning, like we haven't gotten thunderstorms in years. Not
Yeah.
real powerful thunderstorms like we used to. When I was a child, I used to sit on the porch and I used to watch the thunder and the lightning. I used to
Mhm.
love it. It was like fireworks. This summer, we had ridiculous amounts of thunderstorms, but they weren't normal. They were literally straight lines of light and dark. It was the strangest thing. And you
Yeah, the
could see
flashes were. I have a video
they were
on
straight
YouTube
up
for that
and
with
down.
that.
Like I sent you
Like
pictures of it. I
sheets
think I
of
sent
dark
them.
and light, straight lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on
And
my
I said
channel. There's that exact thing. I show
I
you on
said
that.
there's something coming in behind that lightning. Like it was
Yeah,
a portal.
Sheila. Sheila Loya just said she said she got sick after getting caught in a fallout of mist, and then she had some spiritual doors open through that too at the time. Sheila, you are not alone, right, Sheila?
No,
Sheila
you're
Loya,
not.
you are not alone. Like
No.
that's
No. So
a lot with
I
us.
went outside one night to put my penny out, and it was July and it was snowing. And I was like, what in the hell? So I went and I took a video of it. I couldn't believe it. I posted it. A lot of people said they experienced the same thing, but it's what was behind
Yeah.
that was
The
frightening.
veil, so to speak. Yeah.
It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible.
I know what
But
you're saying.
I listened to the video, and there you could hear the frequency. And I
Yeah.
really do believe the ringing of the ears that people
Oh, it's all
coming
a
up in that
frequency. Our
loud,
whole life is a
it's them
frequency.
communicating. We
Oh,
just happen to have
guarantee you.
ears.
I mean, everything
We
is.
happen to have the ears to hear.
Yep,
That's
the
it.
eyes to see. Also, however we ended up with that, and I know Sheila Loya too. Eyes to see, because we can see things that other people don't see, which is a little different. You don't hear of a lot of people with all of that going on.
No, but
So
isn't that what he said?
he sure as heck did. He sure
And
did,
I
and it
and
was
I
written.
know I do believe that if we ignore it, it'll go away, like some people talk about.
It doesn't go
But
well. It doesn't
I
for me.
believe you're missing your calling.
Yeah, I believe that too, because I mean, if you got the eyes to see, the ears to hear, it was your time. Be happy, be merry, because like you were awakened right at the maybe last moment, right? Maybe, before it was too late.
Well,
So I look at
I
it
know
as
that
something
we
good.
see a lot of the same things. You're in Texas. I've never met you,
We
and
see the same, yeah.
I'm in Pennsylvania. And
Yeah, Sheila, it's scary at first for sure.
what we see is horrifying. I keep saying
It is.
I was
You
given a
don't ever get
glimpse.
really used to. I mean, I'm not afraid anymore, but it was the first time. Were you not? Because Sheila Loya just said the
Oh,
same
I
thing.
was
I
horrified.
was petrified. I'm like,
I'm not even
what
gonna sit
the
here and
heck is
act tough.
going on?
I ran.
Yeah, I mean,
I would have rather
literally, I'm
been
like, am I
crazy.
in hell? Like, I literally asked that out loud. I'm like, am I in hell? So,
I was
yeah.
scared to death. I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, because we didn't ask
I'm
to
not
see
gonna
the
say that I
spiritual
walked
world
this
that we're
bravely.
seeing.
I'm not gonna say that I walked it bravely. I was scared shitless. And
Yeah. Sheila
now
made a point there too. She says she doesn't record them anymore, so she doesn't see them as much. And that's kind of what we were talking about. Like, if you don't pay them attention, you'll see them less. I mean, I guess the thing is, they're there. It's just that
it
they don't really
doesn't matter
deserve
whether
our
you
attention like
record
we
them or
get
not.
it or
Yeah.
give it. But I do it because I think it's necessary for the world to know how very real it is. And if it
I
takes that
think
to wake them up, what's that?
I think for me, I think it's important
Shadow
because
figures,
it's
orbs,
really
and hood figures.
happening, and I believe that our job, out of anything, it's been given onto us to tell other people what's going on. Well, how are you going to wake them up if you can't show them?
Yeah. Yep. Sheila Loya said, the shadow figures, the orbs, and the hooded figures. She nailed it, didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
So she says I think God used this to wake me up. I was wavering in my spirituality, and amen, Sheila Loya. God, he does. He wakes us up at times where we never expected it, but we needed it the most. And for whatever reason, there's a
Yeah,
certain handful of us that seemingly are experiencing not just Morgellons, not just the orbs, not just, we're all experiencing a multitude of things, and it's all a connection, and it's a spiritual connection, in my opinion. What do you think, Sheila, on that one?
I didn't think. I think it's all of it.
It
I
is,
think
yeah.
that when
It's a
he
spiritual
says, when
portion
the
to it.
disciples said to him, what should we
Thank you,
do
Sheila.
and what for signs to look for? He said, prepare your hearts. We're not supposed to. I'm not sitting here telling people to worry,
Prepare your hearts.
but he
You said that
says,
so
I'm
right.
going to tell you what I see up there, what you see, what many others see,
Sheila
and not just
Loya
up
sees,
there.
yeah,
What's down here now? It's
right?
in the beginning when I used to see it, I used to see it more up there in the clouds, in the sky.
Yeah. And now it's everywhere.
And now no, it's everywhere. Like
I
I
mean,
can
I
be
can't look
sitting
at
there.
nothing looks the same to me anymore. Nothing looks the
Mm-mm.
same to you, and I'm sure not to Sheila Loya as well.
Well, nothing worse for me is to be in a crowd of, in a room full of people I love,
And
and
seeing
see
it
what's around
on them
them.
or around them, yeah.
Yeah, especially my grandkids. You know that I have the hardest time with that.
Trust
So
me, I know what you mean.
I'm not running from this shit no more. I'm pissed off.
Yeah, well, I
You
mean,
know?
like, I'm literally, when I say I'm in the fight, I'm in the fight. I'm in the fight,
Yep.
guys. I'm in the fight. I'm not playing. And Sheila,
Yep.
you're in the fight. Sheila Loya, you're in the fight. We're in the fight, guys. And it is fight. It is fight time. We're
We have
warriors.
to fight because we're
Betcha.
running out of time. We're
Yep.
running out of time, and that's serious. When I say that, I think we're so much further in the revelation.
So much. Nobody knows the time or the day. We already know that. And so for those
No,
that
but
like
he
to throw
said
that
there
out,
will
I
be
want to say it is
signs.
written. You got the signs to look for.
That's
And they're
right.
there. So
And they're
prepare
here.
your
And it's
hearts
actually, we're following it to the letter. I mean, the third
to
temple
the
is being
you
rebuilt.
betcha,
The
to the
third
T.
temple,
It's there like
the
clockwork.
third temple right now is being rebuilt. I mean,
Yes.
for crying, I don't
When I
know
look at
how people
Israel
don't see.
and all like how do they not see this?
Look, they
How do they
just
not
tore
see something that
down.
was written so long ago is happening right now and they don't see that
Yes,
it's real?
they just tore down Teddy Roosevelt's statue. Okay, some
Yeah.
monument, but they left that pagan beast from Revelation 13
Oh, there's
too
only
in front of the
plenty of
U.S.
those. It's everywhere you look.
Okay, are you kidding me? But nobody.
But the
Wait, guys.
Statue of Liberty is not actually this.
I know.
There's no liberty in that. You know what I mean? This is for entertainment purposes only. We are definitely not saying anything outside of just, make believe. It's all make believe for algorithm purposes because algorithm, decides everything. And algorithm knows that we are just entertaining you. All right, go on. Have to do that.
Yeah, I spent
Sadly.
quite that. I spent quite the afternoon with the algorithm today.
Yeah, trust me, I've
Yeah.
been kicked off and on and off and on. How many times I can't even tell you. Got to tiptoe
So
around it for sure because
my
AI is
parents,
running us already, and people don't even realize that. And it learns
no,
quick.
well, they better realize it because
It's
it
happening.
yeah,
Then
and
you get
we're
your
really
Facebook guy. He's like, "Oh, we're gonna have this
just
little
the fact that
holographic
you got to
world
say
and rename
entertainment,
this."
just the fact that you have to say entertainment purposes
It's
only.
pathetic. It's pathetic.
It's
My
pathetic.
human rights are stripped. There is no, the right to, speak out. There's no freedom of speech anymore. There's no freedom of anything. And if y'all haven't figured it out, you've been imprisoned for
I
a
got
very long
I
time.
got Facebook.
Pagan entertainment. Yes, that
I
is
got
right.
my
Hot
Facebook little issue
chicks.
today because I put up a PubMed report on Morgellons, okay, saying that saying the CDC now recognizes it, right? But because the URL I said deprogram, I
Yeah,
got
never say there's trigger words for sure.
deprogram.
But deprogram, we mean depopo programmation. That's what
Yes,
we meant to say. Because that
yes,
triggers immediately for entertainment purposes only. We didn't say
absolutely.
that. It's pathetic,
So
though, isn't it?
yeah, it really
So,
is.
for the audience, we want you to know that when we say stuff, you're going to have to read between the lines at times when we're talking about happy trails in the sky that don't evaporate from the hair in the plains on the prairie. We're talking about chemicals that react to your body when they fall on the ground from the hairs that, you know, have some aerodynamic properties. And I know you guys know what we're talking about there. So, but yeah, sadly, we have to be very careful. Everything is imprisonment, period. But
But we're in
for
America.
instance, I could have been monetized on my channel long ago, right?
Yes.
But I can't be. And I never even cared about that because that's never why I started this channel. Not in a million years. And I still don't give a crap. But I have it to find it funny that they told me, well, you were actually, able to be monetized, but because of your content, we cannot allow that because they have to send out this little letter. And I just started laughing my butt off when I read that. I just thought, what a crying, shameful thing that I'm sitting here pouring my guts and heart out for all of us that are suffering as they watch us suffer. And
Right.
they're saying, well, because you're saying things that aren't true. And I want to say, you're sitting there allowing all these UFO channels. And I mean, I don't have anything out against them because I've seen things I cannot, unidentified things. I have.
Right.
But you see how these things are they're allowed. They can say whatever they want. Oh, that's there, and the government, blah, blah, blah. And they never get taken off. What does that tell you? Maybe they're
Uh,
pushing that. Maybe they're pushing that, and that's okay because if we're getting taken off for talking about God, Jesus, or for for like right like now
Right.
what we're doing, for instance, I mean, that's a no-brainer. 1 + 1 = 2. They can stay, we can't stay. They can say what they want, we can't say the truth. They can say lies, we can't speak
So
truth.
do
So yeah,
you, I know that you believe what pretty much like I believe.
no
Um,
deprogramming allowed. She said.
so
Yeah, that was hot. I
that
can't
is
say the
that
other
is the
middle
word
word
of the
because
day.
I have a friend that actually has a son with Down syndrome, and so out of respect, I can't say the middle part because some people do get mad, and so. But hot chicks, I'm picking up what you're putting down. So I'm sorry, Sheila. Go on.
No, you're okay. You're okay. It's just the word of the day.
Yeah, right.
I'm telling you.
It is. Yeah, yeah. There's
So
always something, and there is. That's all around us.
yeah, so like if you really just pick up the scripture, it's all there.
Right.
And if you really look at CERN and what's going on there, and if you really look at all the other things, I mean, they're there. I mean, but people aren't even asking questions. Like
An
they
agenda.
didn't even talk about that island that just disappeared.
Yeah. How did that happen? That's not a big deal
Yeah,
at all, right?
what is the name of it?
Ain't nothing but a thing.
What is it? Toama? Tawama?
Thelma, right?
Toma Island or
Thelma.
something?
Yeah,
Yeah, a tsunami took it out,
yeah.
and they're not talking.
Well, no, they're not going to tell you either. When those two big tall things in the sky and NY
Mhm.
City, Pace Picante, hit those tall things with an aerodynamic thing and how they crumbled, and met their
Yeah,
groundage. They the count on that and all of that. Like they don't talk about a lot of things now, do they? And
no.
nobody looks, and nobody is like, oh, the news. I saw the news, and the news say this. It's gonna be right. Damn it! If I saw it with my own two eyeballs, I heard the news. They told me so. Yeah. Oh yeah. Because I fact checked it. Okay.
I'm gonna
Okay,
fact
genius.
check you.
Next time, use your eyeballs.
I'm gonna fact check you.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
fact check my sister. I gotta fact checks it. And I'm like, wow, we have learned nothing here, have we? Have you not figured out? Like, so there's somebody making your fact checks, right? Like telling you
Yeah.
right or wrong. It's another human, just like you or I, that has a brain and eyeballs and doing the same thing, but making whatever
So
they want up. And you could
they're
use
not
yours and just figure
even.
the shit out. But no, take the easy way out. Go ahead and fact checks it.
Yeah,
God, please, please.
they're not even
They don't even try
following
anymore.
the
They're lazy. It's a
earthquakes that are
lazy
going
culture.
on. They're
Yeah.
not even, nope, or that twister that they said that's the longest twister that ever touched down.
No, because
It-
I fact checked that. It wasn't.
Did you?
Just kidding. Sorry.
Yes.
Because that wasn't. No, I had a longer twister when I got when I fell off the hoverboard. I was twisted and not.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
they're
no,
gonna find out a
exactly
whole
though.
lot
I mean,
though,
and all
because
the twisters coming down at once, right? Like, all
right.
over the place.
Well, they're
It's
gonna
nuts.
find out when they start to see it affecting them, because that island that was taken out with the tsunami. That's those and
That's
a lot that's
blatant,
going dealing with the earthquake and the ash from the earthquake. That's
right?
where we get our food from in the wintertime. And
Everything that's been coming down from those happy trails affects the water source, the food source. As the cattle eat the grass, I don't care if you eat a cow, pig, or whatever. All those things have to eat and drink, and
yeah,
those things are affecting the water sources and the groundage that feeds or you're going to eat the stuff like veggies on the ground. I don't even understand how people can't see this. So you're right. Not only does it affect it, but it doubly affects it. It's just so
well,
much.
all they need to do is go in the grocery store, but they're
Yeah,
nobody's paying attention. They're really not. Um,
yeah.
look at the prices. Look at the prices of everything, but yet
Look at the
they're
shelves empty,
encouraging you to stay home.
and look at the shelves that are empty. I mean, it takes me weeks sometimes to get in things online that are necessary, or it's
Yeah, but
obvious.
then I find out, and it wasn't really until I got sick. And I don't even know if
Our
I want to call it a
chicks.
sickness as much as I want to say what the fuckery. That's what I
Hot
call it.
Chick says the name, change the name to Fart Chicks. I kind of like that. How about Fart Chicks? Because my daughter farted so bad tonight, I was dying. Okay, that's bad. Sorry. I told you, Sheila, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, you did.
It was bad. I couldn't even eat it. So I
Mm.
know that you are very tired, and I'm right there with you. But what do you think ultimately would be the best thing that any of us could do? And I mean, I think we know the answer, but I want to hear what you think, and let everyone know what's the best thing we can all be doing right now, right here, as far as looking out for right now and tomorrow and the future and even the past.
Right now, the
Yeah, I
best
mean,
thing.
what could we all be doing? The one go to, the one thing that we should all be looking for and looking to, and what should
The
we be
one,
prepping
the
for?
one thing, the first thing is
Fart chicks. Yep,
you get your spiritual house in order. That's number one. That's number one. I mean, that's the biggest one right there. You know,
yep,
and number two, love. Love yourself and love others. That's
exactly.
it. That's it. It's real simple. It always was real simple. We just complicated it.
Daryl
Seriously,
Paris'
get
diet.
your
Yep.
what's that?
We've got a new one here. A new one. Daryl Perrier just showed up. He says, "Eat healthy, eat right in your diet." And yes, we all agree of that. But I mean, in the overall picture, because that goes just so far.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, Lisa. I don't know where you're at, but
Oh no, no, we had Daryl. When I said,
right,
"What's the number one
I
thing we
know,
could be doing?"
but I've realized like there's only so much we can do eating healthy because the food is shit.
Yep,
Okay, so
it's all
yeah, I
contaminated.
mean, I'm not saying not to eat okay. I'm just you can eat better,
Yeah,
but I'm over all that. I'm over all
I've
that.
had years of all that. Yeah, I'm
Well,
over it
because you
too.
know what, I want to enjoy part of my life and what's left of it and have joy in it. And I'm not going to sit here and frantically search for a cure that isn't
You
there.
betcha.
I'm not doing it. What I am going to do is I'm not giving up. I'm going to
Amen.
make myself as comfortable as can be. And you and I have both always talked about new things that we hear about in passing, but
Yeah,
it's not worth me devoting all my time to anymore.
we're
My
putting energy to something that doesn't deserve it. But however, in this case, totally worth it because we're fighting the good fight. No,
right.
I'm in the battle, guys. I'm in the battle. I'm in it.
My spiritual well-being is more important than anything right now.
Amen. And Daryl actually made a good point about, just using empathy, towards others and whatnot. And absolutely. That's
Absolutely.
a wonderful, wonderful thing to say and do and extend to others. 100%. Amen. So,
Absolutely. Because
it's
they're
all
gonna
in the
need it.
Bible. It's all in the Bible, that book.
That's
Thank you,
right.
Sheila Loya. I'm trying to keep up with the messages as we go to. So,
Yeah, well,
comments,
it's
I
the
should
most
say.
important thing. I mean, I'm just like you guys. I've been through it with
Yeah.
with this life and with this stuff
There's
and
so much.
but when the spiritual stuff started happening, it just changed my whole outlook.
It makes you know
And
how very real it is.
yeah,
The good Lord
and how
above,
much I
how
really
very
didn't
real.
understand. How much I really did not understand.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to know all the answers, and I'm okay with that
We
too.
don't have to. We don't
Mm-mm.
have to have those.
But
You're
I
right.
just,
You're right.
he told us, and when he says prepare your hearts, I know that you can attest to this, and many others. What we see is just a small portion of it.
This is nothing. A little
I
bit of time.
can understand now why he said prepare your hearts, and I'm not even sure if
I
I
know why he said put on your full armor.
Absolutely.
You
But I
know,
don't
I get
know,
that.
even with knowing what's coming, will I stand? Yeah, but it's still going to be mind blowing.
I'm in the fight, man. I'm in the fight. It's a battle that we can all win. It was ours to win anyway. Satan's already doomed, right? We have nothing but blessings to gain out of even our suffering. And when you look at the book of Job and Job's suffering, and he's a common example that everyone uses. But I mean, look at Jesus Christ hanging on a cross. Like completely innocent, sinless, the
Well, look,
only
I
sinless.
called you. I called you this week, and I
Hmm.
was blown away by the book of Amos, remember?
Yes, and that was excellent read. Excellent, excellent. All of that. Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
because it talks about a prophecy, and he says and it was God. God was talking about it, and he said, "I will cause baldness upon every head," and that actually made me cry
Yeah, peace
because
comes
a
from
lot of
love,
us
my
shave our
friend.
heads. What's that?
They said, does love come from peace or does peace come from hot farts? I'm just kidding, hot fart chicks. I'm just kidding. They said, does love come from peace or does peace come from love? I believe love was always here since it came from the Almighty Creator that was filled with nothing but love. So I would say peace comes from love. Everything comes from love, right? But
Yeah.
we can turn it into what we choose to turn it into, I guess. So, yeah, Morgellons does trump the C word, you betcha. Hands down,
Yeah.
Daryl. Hands down. That's just a little sliver of the slice there. That's all.
I
But
used to
Sheila,
say that
can
when
you read
everybody
them or
was,
tell them some of the Amos that you share with me? And I know it, but it's always good to hear these things. People need to hear that, and I love that you share these spiritual moments and things that you do. It's really good stuff. It's the good stuff.
what do you want to know more about
Tell them
Amos?
a little bit about Amos and what we were talking about this
Okay,
week. And
so I took a friend for surgery, and this is that synchronicity or whatever you're calling it. Am I saying that right?
yeah, synchronicity.
Okay,
Yep.
so
Agreed, Sheila.
you were talking to me about honeycomb, which was
Mm-hmm.
really
The
weird.
honeycomb or
So,
the
and I'm
worms.
in Mount Carmel. So I was listening to Israeli news out in the car because nobody was allowed in because of the C word while my friend was in for surgery. And Israeli News Live was doing a podcast or whatever, whatever on YouTube. I belong to the thing. And it said, what was it? Revelation on steroids or something?
Yes,
End
that's
time
what she said.
prophecy on steroids, something like that. I can't remember. But anyway, he starts talking about this stuff, and he talks about honeycomb, and he talks about Mount Carmel, and I'm in Mount Carmel, and you talked about honeycomb. I was like, this is really
Yep.
weird. Okay, you got my attention. And then
Synchronicities.
it, Amos is a book in the Bible that I actually didn't read a lot of,
Me
or
neither.
maybe
I don't think anyone does.
I know it doesn't. I don't. I think
Well,
it's
the
just
Bible that
a
does not in all books either, by the way.
well, it's in my King James version, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I read it, and at first I was like, well, is this an old time, like back in their
Yep.
time prophecy that was or something. But no, he was talking about men will go to and fro trying to seek his word, and
Mm-hmm.
it will not be found. And I mean, there was just so many. You'll have to open it up. Amos
Yeah, y'all need to
chapter.
look because I
Yeah,
need to be
it's
reminded of
really.
this. It's stuff we know, but those are good reminders and
Let
keeps your
me
head on. So
let me see if my
good.
Bible's right here. Hold on a minute.
Yeah, there you go.
Why don't I do that? So hold on a minute.
Sounds good. Ruth Elizabeth,
Sounds.
hello. She said she had the flu at the beginning of January this year, lasted about a week. I'm not sure if it was the C word. And I'm going to have to agree with Sheila Loya on this. I believe that is just, it's a kind of one of those things that they kind of, it's nothing different than what we're all going through. It's just
That's
one of
right.
those things that they make up because they have to do that, I guess. Deny everything, admit
Well,
nothing, and make fewer accusations.
I don't think it's that. It's trying to push us for something that
Oh yeah,
maybe I shouldn't
there's an
get.
agenda without a doubt, but it's for
Yeah,
entertainment purposes only.
yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm a friend of the algorithm. I want to stay and I want to play.
Absolutely.
Daryl Perry, I said it seems like there hasn't been any flu outbreak since the C word showed up. Yep, dang straight. It's all the same in my
Kind of
opinion. There's
funny,
just a
isn't it?
lot.
Don't you remember when we used to go to the doctor? Like
Yeah, I
this
don't
is in
even
the
have to
old
anymore.
days,
We don't get sick,
and
do we?
it used to be they treated you for pneumonia, bronchitis, the
Mm-hmm.
flu, da da da. But and they give
Nobody
you
has the
steroids
flu at all
and
though now.
they give you amoxicillin. But if it was
Yeah.
a B, right,
Mm-hmm.
they'd say you got to go home and let it run its course.
Or you got to come to the hospital and get on a V word that gives you a little bit of something to breathe, and then you can die there and say
No, no,
goodbye.
yeah, but in the old days, no, no, no. They just sent you home and said,
Oh no,
let it
I
run
said
its
that now
course.
they do that. You're right.
So what happened to that?
Yeah, what
What?
did happen to that?
Yeah,
What happened to just
exactly.
letting our natural antibodies and our, that God
Well,
equipped us
oh,
with?
that's the other thing I got in trouble for today.
Yeah.
I got in trouble for something saying, if you're sick, stay home. And if not, then get out and live your life or something.
Mhm.
And I
Go
got in
figure.
trouble for that.
Well,
Yes.
that's because we should definitely listen to what the algorithm and everyone else is saying because they're right and we're wrong. And I'm not dripping
Absolutely.
with sarcasm at all right now.
Okay, I'm going to turn my camcorder
The
off. Hold
opposite.
on a minute.
Okay. You want?
I
Okay.
can hear you.
It's me. It's so me.
I wonder if I can, I don't know. If I leave,
Daryl
I'll
said,
come back. If I leave, I will come back.
he said it's a crime and it makes me so sad. Daryl, amen. Carrie Millis, inventor of PCR, won a Nobel Prize. And I can't see
Okay.
over because the comments are overlapping right now. I have to read that though.
Okay, hold on.
Wait, I gotta get my
Can you hear
spectacles
me?
on real quick. Gotta have the googly eyes because I'm blind now.
Can you
Blind
hear
and
me?
old, apparently. So it was not for diagnostic use. It was for research only. He died suddenly a few months before the. Yeah. Read that one, guys. That Sheila Loya just put up. So true. True story right there. It's crazy. It is crazy. The world is crazy now, though. I mean, we're not living in, well, no world that I remember growing up in, but also remember the sun used to be orange or yellow. So, I mean, apparently the clouds used to look like, fluffy things or just kind of like a mixture of mist, maybe. But they have shapes now, guys. Did you know that there's a hole punch cloud now? It's got a name, so it's fine. It is just fine to have a cloud as long as it has a name. Doesn't matter if it's like this perfect shape of a perpendicular or triangle or it's okay. It's all good as long as it's got a name. So, and I guess Morgellons has got a name, so apparently it's all good. It's not. Ruth Elizabeth, Canadian trekkers all headed to the capital. Yes, I saw that. Not leaving. Love it. Love it. Yes, I saw that. I watched that last night. I mean, all I can say is good. People need to stand in their own truth, like Candy Nelson says. They got to love people anyway. But you know what? We were awakened for a reason. We're here to fight. We're here for the fight. And by gosh, I'm in the fight. I will not deny it. I am here. I am not giving up. There's nothing that they can do to me here on earth that is going to be something that I will regret later because we got a promise coming. We got a promise coming to us all. And there's enough of us, by the way. We can change the world. I mean, there's enough of us. It's like, just think about this, guys. It's just a handful of people that are running the show. And they're really nobodies. They're like, I got a certain bloodline. I got a crown on my head. Look at me. It's got a little twinkle to it. And they might be powerful because, well, Satan was the greatest magician of all, but there's nobody greater than my God above. There's no being that ever was because he was the I am that I am. So we win already. We win already. We won. It's a fight that we won and we will win. But you guys, we need to stand together, and I'm not kidding. I'm going to get it tattooed on my body. I'm in the fight right here. I mean, that's all I can say. And I think might have lost Sheila for a moment. Sheila Loya says some nurses, they've been indoctrinated. Oh, hell yeah. Pharma pays the med school. Yeah, every bit of that textbook. We already know that the teachers that teach us in school as children go to school and learn from somebody else and learns from somebody else. And it's all like, you got to do it. You got to do it. There's Sheila. She's there back. Yay. Hold on one second. Hold on, Sheila. I'm trying to get you there.
That's okay.
Okay, I got to take this one out, I guess. There you are. There you're not. There you are. Jeez Louise. Okay, it's delayed over here. Yeah. Let me take you. I have 2 bubbles for you, so hold on. Let me put you, let's get you down to 1 here. Yes. Now I'm going to take myself down. Nope, that did not work. There I am.
Uh-oh.
Okay, you are there. Go ahead.
So you just threw me on the spotlight. Now, what?
I'm sorry, but I love it because you can like get that word. You got the Lord's word in you. It just runs through your veins, and you're so good with your message. I love it about you.
I don't know about all that.
Well, I do. I'm a good judge of character too. Except for not men, not the men I marry, but I mean, other than that, I'm fine.
So anyway, in Amos, it really kind of started out where it was talking like he was talking like past tense, like in that time.
Right.
But he's really not, and it's really I can't find it.
That's okay. I know where you're going. I mean, I think almost everyone
Yeah,
does.
I know that you know. So look up Amos in the book, really, and and seriously, I would tell anybody read it yourself. It's very powerful, and it's read the whole verse. It is chapter 8, but read it from top to bottom.
Agreed, you guys. She's right.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty powerful. I
And I
mean,
don't
not
know
to
if you guys have
mention,
noticed, but if you read the Bible now compared to when you did, before your
oh, it's
awakening,
completely different.
it's crazy. You understand it like word
Like
for
if
word
you
what they're
just,
talking about, most of it.
I'm telling you, if you just take and look up the UN statute and read
Yep.
Revelation 13:2, your hair is going to stand up.
It is like dead on, is it not? It's crazy.
It is, and what's crazy is when I read the Bible in my early 30, well, I guess it was my late 20s, early mid 20s, I guess, mid 20s when I read the whole Bible. I thought it was going to be some kind of monster that come up or
Yeah.
showed up. Okay, not a statue in New York City in the UN.
Right.
Okay,
Mhm.
but understand that when you read it, it describes that statue to a T. And understand
Sure does.
that the UN says their motto is peace and security. Understand it's all for one world order, which is in the Bible, it's biblical. So
Yep.
they got up and they put this, and that is what the statue's name is. It's peace and
Yeah.
security.
Hi, Burnett,
And
Latina. Gotta say hello. We
it
got a new one.
says, as sudden destruction comes upon mankind. And so it's all right there. It's just not what we thought it was going to be.
Exactly. It's not at all the picture they painted for us, right? But
No,
it
the
is
picture that they
exactly what
painted for
it
us
should
was
be.
absolutely so wrong.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, even wormwood.
Hmm.
I mean,
That's right.
that's pretty crazy. And seriously, that is so right here
Hmm.
now. We're actually off our access.
Oh yeah, we've been on like our we had a pole shift if people can't tell. And I mean my maps even on my phone wouldn't work for like a week, no matter which app. And I know sounds weird, but it's true. But you're right. The Earth is off its axis. We've got something big coming, and we got a meteor. I guarantee you on top of them, whatever they want to
You
call
got to
it,
ask yourself why they're not talking about all the earthquakes, and we are having
in places
they.
that we never had them before.
Yes, it's terrible.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
terrible, and they're not talking about it.
No, they don't. The birds falling from the sky for no reason. The fish
Or the
washing up
lack
on shore
thereof birds,
nonstop. I mean,
or the lack of birds, Lisa.
lack of wildlife. I am an animal rescue, and wildlife is my specialty. I used to have a wildlife animal in my home or presence pretty much all the time for the longest time. And all of a sudden, I mean, don't get me wrong, I still see them, but I see more. So, they're coming closer to the city. They're not going to the wild as much. I've seen animals not act like raccoons, act like just not like raccoons. They have odd behavior. Nocturnal animals not sleeping in the nighttime, coming out in the day. Strange things, and they know. And like their water source, because they'll come and drink out of, like, for instance, I've got a well. I've got a like 400-foot well here. So they'd rather, like, the deer would rather come up and drink out of that trough that gets filled from deep within the earth versus the ponds that are just all around, or rivers or creeks they won't touch. You're right. It's affecting everybody and everything and every living thing, and that includes our trees and our grass and our flowers and our
The
vegetables.
trees are dying from the inside out.
You can see the trees dying, and they're doing something to the trees. There's an interaction there. I have seen it. Can't explain it. Don't have the answers. Wouldn't lie. I've seen it. It is what it is.
I sent you pictures of it during full moon.
And Sheila said she heard the birds chirping all night long. That's another thing. That's one thing I've noticed. The birds at odd hours, like it should be spring or should be morning time, and they're chirping, but it's at hours that you would not typically hear birds singing or chirping. So
You
another,
don't, or
our
you
time
hear
is
them
off,
chirp,
our poles are
but you
off.
don't see them.
Mm-mm.
You don't see them.
Yeah, rarely. Dove season used to be a big thing around here for hunters, which I used to be a hunter. I can't even think to even hunt anymore, even though, we weren't like for sport, it was for food. I can't even do that anymore. But I'll tell you what, the doves don't even fly over. And this was a big area, like swarms and swarms and flocks of them would just come over. And they don't anymore. We might have had 2 or 3 during like prime season the last couple of years. And I mean, I'm not joking. I'm talking about from flocks to like 2 or 3. It's not the
There
same.
are, well, usually here in PA, the geese and stuff, they migrate, and they
Yeah.
haven't even done that in the last maybe 3 years.
Oh, girl, I went to Missouri, which is, in the middle of the United States from here in the coast. And I will never forget, I always drive through the night because I'm the mother, the father, the breadwinner, the caretaker, the whatever you want to call it. I'm that person. And girls will sleep and I drive because it just worked out better that they're sleeping and not fighting and I'm driving. Well, I only had Shiloh this time at that point, but I drove through the night because it's just habitual at that point. I stopped in Oklahoma, just right on the border of Missouri and Oklahoma, in a parking lot because I was exhausted. I thought I'm just going to nap for a minute. I'm only a couple of hours away, but I knew I needed rest because I got to that point. Pull into this parking lot. There are seagulls, thousands and thousands of seagulls. Hence, the first part of that word is sea gulls. Okay, so they're ocean birds. They're definitely those type of birds, and they're in the middle and the heart of the United States. They're right where the heart of the United States is, and they're in this. I'm not even joking. Like they were searching and scavenging for food. Like they were lost. They went the wrong direction. And, you go south for the winter. They went north, and it's just things like that. I had a raccoon that, like, I tried to save. I couldn't save it, but I could tell it wasn't rabid. And she died in my arms, but she was just looking at me like something's wrong, and I could tell. And it was like almost like food poisoning, but I just knew. I can't even explain why, but there was something much worse wrong with that baby. And so many others that I have saved and not saved and had to put down due to those things. And it's horrible. It's hard. It's so hard. But there's something bad wrong. You're right, Sheila. Everything's off. The pole shift. I
Yeah.
mean, the fact that they got to block out the sun, right? What we do have, what do you
Well,
call it? A sun
or whatever
simulator for
that is up
entertainment
there.
purposes only, of course. But it's
Right.
been written and put out there. I mean, they're doing it for a reason. Like I said, Morgellons is a small bit of the picture. There's a much larger picture to all of this. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It is crazy.
And that's why I said, it becomes more important for me, the spiritual aspect of it.
To what?
The spiritual aspect of it is more important to me.
That is the only thing at this point that should be matterful.
Yeah,
Love
exactly.
though, love. We got to keep the love flowing. But guys, we got to have our full armor on, man. We got to be ready. It's coming. It's here. Like Sheila, it's here.
And yeah, and we have to be bold about it. I mean,
Don't be afraid. Don't
there's no
fear it.
gray area anymore. You
Black or
either,
white, man.
that's right.
So
And
it's a battle between good and evil. It has
and
been
if you're
written. It's
if
been
you're on
said
the
that
side of
forever.
God, then just understand your enemy. You're an
Yeah.
enemy of Satan, and
Well,
he's
just
gonna come
remember,
at you.
Satan is the ruler and the leader and the principalities of evil in the air. And, there'll be signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars. And nations will be in perplexity of the things that are coming upon this world. I mean, it's all there. And that's a lot of scripture, always jumbled in a mess. But it's all there. It's all written.
Well,
And
man's
anyone that
heart
can
will
deny God
fail
at this
him.
point, I feel for them because proof is in the pudding. It's never been
Well,
more
it
real
says,
and more proven than what it is
man's
now.
heart will fail him.
Man's heart will fail
When
him. And they
when
see
they
the Son
see
of Man
what's to
coming,
come
and
upon him.
that's right.
And yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to make it any clearer. Like,
Me neither. But they
it's
will see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with power and great glory, and every eye will see him. And that includes us. So put on your full armor, guys, because it is a battle between good and evil.
and
And
it's gonna be a frustrating time, and discernment is absolutely a must. But this is
you
gonna be a
betcha.
hard time because, and he says it. He says, they'll believe the lie,
It's all been
and
written, every bit of it.
the truth will be the lie, and they'll believe the lie. You know.
It's easier for them to believe the lie, and that's why most will. They will not receive. People will no longer endure sound teaching written
Good
directly.
will be bad and bad will be good. You know.
Exactly. Everything
I
will
mean,
go. They'll have no more love or compassion or empathy or sympathy. It's all there. It's all there. It's happening. Obviously, that's what they're doing. It's been written, but the famines and the earthquakes and the disease and everything that the Bible says, well, ta-da! And it is. And he wasn't kidding. And I don't care if I could have been a devout atheist, right? But seeing what I've seen, and I never was, by the way, I've always believed, but I've never seen and known like I do now. But
well,
I'm telling you, even an
look at
atheist should
the
know by now that he's so real. He's so real.
look at all those people over at CERN. Okay, now those people
Yeah.
go to school for a long, long time.
Yep.
They're physicists. They have more college
Recruited.
than us. So Stephen Hawkins was the smartest man, one of the smartest men in the world,
He
and
didn't believe at first.
he was an atheist.
hmm
He was an atheist until they started to open up the portals over there, and he started to see the demons.
Yep.
And he said they opened up
He even
Pandora's.
said there's something greater.
He said they opened up Pandora's box,
Yeah.
and
No, I
he
mean,
said that right
here's a
before he
man that doesn't
died.
believe, guys, right?
Yeah, he was a man that didn't believe
Yeah.
until they saw it, and he saw it with his own eyes. I mean, even if I I've never seen God. I felt it. I felt his presence. I think if
Yeah,
you
because
look at a
our eyes could
newborn
not
child,
handle seeing him.
I think that if you look at a newborn child, you know, that kind of love, I think that you see, I think you see.
There's no greater love, and I don't think we could ever imagine how good and big that love is. I
but
told
to
you about that
see,
time I prayed and prayed because I felt so lost. I felt like my family didn't love me, and I just didn't fit in anywhere. And I had this dream or vision, and it was vivid. Like, I'll never forget it. I was in this middle of this wheat field, a field, and all I could see for miles and miles was just filled with grass up to my chest area. And I was looking out, and I could see this huge storm coming with the twisters and the big black tornadoes, and it was moving in quick. And I'll never forget, I could look over that direction and see that, and then look over to the other direction, and here sat this little house, and all of my family members, everyone that I loved the most that didn't love me anymore, but all of them sitting there talking and conversing and laughing and having a great time. And it was at a time when they stopped listening to me, not believing in me. I had Morgellons, and they just suddenly, I just didn't exist anymore. And I wasn't the upstanding citizen and the straight A student and the National Honor Society and homecoming queen and everything else that I was suddenly not that girl anymore. I was suddenly just a crazy girl. In this dream, I'm screaming at them and begging them, please listen, there's a storm coming. There's a storm coming. It's going to take you all away, please. And I'm screaming, and the wind's blowing so hard, and I couldn't get my screams out because the wind was just blowing it the other way. And I'm trying so hard, and I'm reaching my hand out, just please, and listen to me. You guys got to get to safety. Get inside, of course, in a dream, inside's probably not the safe place, but I'm telling them, I'm begging them, please go inside. And they just kept on like I wasn't there, and they couldn't hear me. And I'll never forget, I looked up at the sky that was so dark and black, and I said, God, if you're real, please show me you're real. I need to see you. I need to see you, God. And it was like at that moment, everything got calm. Everything just stood still, just like it was, with the black sky and a twister, but not spinning or twisting anymore. And the grass around me not swaying in the wind anymore. And everything was just calm and still. And I just sat there, and I'm like, what's going on? I don't see anything. And all of a sudden I looked up again, and that black, bleak sky, it cleared a pathway, it opened up, and all I saw was this silver lined, this is the only way to explain it. It was a silver lined cloud, and it transformed itself into kind of a face, as if it was trying to show on a human level that they could comprehend that that's what it would look like. It was silver lined, and I just saw these big eyes, these big caring eyes. That was the first thing I saw, and this long nose, and this just gentle face. And again, everything was silver lined, and I couldn't even believe what I was seeing. And the lips never moved, and all I heard in my head and felt in my heart was, my child, I have always been here. I have always been here. You just forgot that I was next to you, and you never called upon me. And I will never forget that, ever, because it was, in fact, the most vivid dream I ever had. And I just remember tears rolling, and I woke up with tears rolling down my face. And I just remember saying, please then save my family. I'm sorry I've done that. I'm sorry. I forgot. I'm sorry. And all of a sudden, everything, the skies rolled back. They rolled back like a scroll. And all the black just kind of rolled away like in a scroll-like manner. And it was just clear blue skies and a couple of little fluffy white clouds, and no more godlike image. But I mean, that was the other thing I took away from it, was that image that in my dream. I also knew that God has not an image that we can comprehend. So therefore, that moment, he put himself into an outline that I could comprehend. And it was all silver lined, and I'll never forget the glow of the silver and just the gentleness in the face that, it was something. I'll never forget that. And I've had other dreams since then that are very vivid, but they're not good. They are people hiding under buildings and running for cover and screaming, and people being taken away, and like dog cages almost, with the big metal bars on trucks, and like concentration type camps, and people trying to break people out, and people getting, it's, I don't really want to go into those, but I've had a lot more of those than I did of that day. And that was when Morgellons kind of had first started with me. But there's a lot going on, guys. So much. I just want you to know, though, just like he told me, he's never left us. It's us, if anything, that has left him. And all you got to do is reach out to him and talk to him. If he's your friend. And my God and I walk hand in hand in the fields of green. There's a song. So anyway, sorry I went on a
I love
tangent there.
you. Thank
What's that?
you. I love you. Thank you.
I love you so much. I love all of you guys so much. I don't have room for hate or anger anymore. I just have a lot of fight in me, though, because Satan is very powerful, guys. He's not playing. He's going to work overtime on you guys, on all of us. He's going to work overtime because he knows we see. He knows we're awake. He
Well,
knows
that's
we're
why we
aware.
have the X's over us all the time.
Always, always in those little happy trails to you, an X everywhere you look. And I know you guys on here know what I'm talking about and what Sheila's talking about. He
Yeah.
works overtime, but that's because you're warriors. And that full armor, that belongs to you, by the way. So put it on and wear it well and be in the fight. Be in the fight, because it's a real fight. And it's our fight, and it's one we're going to win. But don't be afraid. We were not given a spirit of fear. No way, no how. Ever.
We can't
And
walk
Sheila,
in
you
fear.
are one of the bigger warriors that I've ever met. Like, she has not held back. I love that. Love that. Thank you for not holding back and fighting for us all. I really want to thank you. You've been a blessing to me.
Well, I don't know if my life really meant as much as I thought it did until I got Morgellons. You know, you live this
Yeah.
life and you have
It's a
this
blessing in
whatever.
disguise, right?
It kind of was because, I thought all that wouldn't happen to me, what we all go through. And we
Yeah.
almost have to grieve the person we were and the life we thought we had.
Yeah,
Because did
it's
we
a death.
really
It for
ever
sure is
have
a
it?
it's a spiritual death.
If
It's
we actually
that
had it, if we actually had that life, it wouldn't easily been gone and snuffed out the way it was.
exactly.
But we can't also hold on to that life and fight this battle.
We can't do it without him at all.
No,
And that
well,
too.
I'm saying we
We
can't
have
hold
to
on to
grieve
our
that. We
old
let
life.
that go. You're
Let
right.
that go. I had to grieve myself.
We
And
do.
yes, do I still see my children? Yeah, but do I fight to keep them anymore? No.
We have to
Sometimes,
humble ourselves, and
to
you're
be
right. My
honest, when
children
they
have
go,
pained me. It's
well, to
hard
be honest, Lisa, when they go to walk away, it's almost a blessing because I'm
because you know
tired.
that hurt's going away too, right?
Well, it's not the hurt's going
I
to go
I know that.
away,
Well,
but
you
I'm
know that that is
exhausted.
like. I know
I'm
what you
exhausted.
mean.
My focus has to be over here. And I've come
Yeah.
to understand that everyone is accountable for their own
And
destination.
see, that's one thing. I mean, I would lay down my life for my children in a New York minute, and the faster than the blink of an eye. But when you raise them and they're adults, you're right. You have to realize, and it's a hard thing.
It is hard.
But you got to know they are accountable. Everybody is for
I'm
their
not I'm
own
not
actions.
saying
It's
that I
not
still
like they
don't.
weren't told or weren't raised with that. Or same goes for my family or anyone, and for me. We're all accountable. You
I'm not
betcha.
saying I don't get upset about it, Lisa.
It hurts,
I'm
huh?
not saying that, but I am saying there's a peace that comes with acceptance that
You
this is
betcha.
just the way it is.
Because you're being
I can't
still. You were still and knew that He was God. You're right.
I can't be still and know that He is God. That's right. That's my favorite
You,
saying. I can't believe you said that.
that's funny you say that. Mine too. My mom's. That's
And
something
yeah,
she puts on
I
everything. Be
actually have a
still and know
board
that
up
I am
there.
God.
I have it painted. It's right up there. Be still and
I
know
do
that I am
too. It's
God.
all over my bedroom.
Yeah,
That's crazy. One more thing I learned about Sheila. Sheila
it's my
Roder. But
favorite
Sheila Loya,
favorite
I love you
absolute
too.
verse.
She's an amazing person as well.
The
All
second
of you
one
guys
is
are.
what is it? Oh my gosh, I hate that. I hate that when they do that.
They take away your thought.
They
Yeah,
took
yeah.
away my thought just like that.
I had the brain fog like that too. All the time they take it away. It's like I swear I blame them. I'm like, you took it away.
Sorrow may come for a night, but joy, but Joy comes in the morning, or something like that. I cannot think of
Amen.
my thought away. But oh, you may endure sorrow for a night, but joy cometh in the morning.
Everlasting. That's right.
It's never lasting. It's never
That's right.
lasting.
Yeah.
And
We
once
have
you
an
start
eternity of
fearing,
bliss coming. That's the main
once you
thing that
stop
keeps me
stop
going.
fearing death, I mean, and I'm not saying we're suicidal, but you just stop
I'm
fearing for
just
this
not
life.
afraid of death. The Lord, I mean, I welcome him to come.
Well, do you
You're
really
right.
want to be stuck in this shit show?
Yeah, no. See, I mean, but I'm in the fight. We're in the fight, guys. We're in the fight. All of us are in the fight. We don't fear death anymore. We have seen the pits of hell, or as much of it as we want to ever have to experience again.
Yeah,
That
but
from
you know
that we
what,
rose up
Lisa?
from the ashes, and we're here
That
for
was
the
a
fight.
blessing. That was a blessing
Amen.
that we could see it.
I think sometimes
Because
people
would
have to
we
be
have
brought to
believed
their
it?
knees in order to stand.
That's right.
You
Without
know,
us seeing it,
there's
could we have
nothing you did
really believed?
wrong, any of you did wrong, and there's nothing bad about you. There's no way that you should ever think that, like, why me? I must have been a really bad person. It's not like that. What it's like is that Satan works so much harder on those that he knows he's going to have a hell of a time and a hard ass time to get. So keep that in your mind first and foremost, and never forget God's never left you. He's there. You just got to call upon him. And if this has happened to you, it might be because you were probably in that line for one of the warriors that he needed a long, long time ago, and you just didn't remember it. You are maybe chosen for
Forged
just
in the
this, for a
fire.
time such as this. You
You're
were born.
forged in the
Maybe I was born
fire.
for a time such as this.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know, guys. Sheila, all I know is, like, I'll be having a bad day, and Sheila will send me something or call me and tell me about something and remind me. It's usually scriptural and puts a smile on my face. And there's something to be said for that when you got a friend that'll put something warm on your face and in your heart for the day. So we all need that. And Sheila, your calling is definitely there. You're good with that.
That our time is coming to be bold about it. You know,
Yeah.
Satan's bold, and it's time for us to be suited up and be bold in
Put
this
on your
fight.
full armor.
You
I mean, it
know,
was written, he knows his time's coming to an end. He's fighting for souls now. He's not fighting for his time because he knows his time's up. He's fighting for your soul. And if you just trust in enough and believe in the word enough, and if you read it, it tells you he never had a fighting chance to begin with, and you have nothing to fear. This is
no,
but
but
for a mere
the
little
biggest
moment.
thing is sharing the truth. The truth of the gospel. It's important. I mean, I'm not talking indoctrinated BS. I'm not doing that.
No.
That's not what Jesus was about. And the church is the
Mm-mm.
people. And I'm
Amen,
not saying
sister.
not to go to church. I'm not saying that. You want to go to church, go to
Feed your
church.
soul however you need to do it. Feed it.
That's
Yes.
right. But understand that you're the church.
You are.
You
We are
are.
the church. We are the children of God. We
And
are the
it's
church of Christ.
important. And I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I mean, I'm
There
telling you.
wasn't a perfect man created
I got
except
a
for one.
lot of things. I got
No,
so
we
many
got
dents in my
skeletons,
bread
all of us.
pan. I got so many dents in my bread pan, it ain't funny.
But we're forgiven. We are forgiven. We have been forgiven. Our
But
sins
the
were washed
stories
away and
in
we've
the
been set free.
Bible, the stories in the Bible,
Hmm.
they're people like me and you. They're people like other
Everyone.
people that we've talked to. We're just the regular people. The
Yep.
ones
And God calls us regular people, doesn't he?
yes, he does. He actually calls the lowest of lows that you wouldn't actually pick. The
Guys, ring a
underdogs.
bell. You've been called upon.
The
You are
underdogs.
needed. You are loved. You are here to be in the fight.
Yes.
You are. You
Yeah.
got the strength that you have no idea how much. Well, I think you guys do know how much strength you have. If you've, like, gone through Morgellons or anything in life that has brought you to your knees and put tears on your cheeks and made you just want to give up, if you've been there on any level, you're a warrior already. But you were
Yeah.
called upon. You got a job to do, guys. You got a job to do. You are here for the fight, and you have
Yeah,
strength
but
much greater
in the
than most.
groups, in the groups, they asked, if you could give this to the people that gave it back to you, give it back to the people that gave it to you. And I say no. I'm not saying
Yeah,
that they
I don't
deserve
know.
that from me, but this is what I say. I say that they've taken enough from me.
They've
Okay, but
taken
what they're not
everything
going to
from me.
take is my humanity and my compassion or
If
my
anything,
love.
that's so much greater now than it ever was.
I'm not saying that they deserve that, but
Mm-mm.
they're not going to take that from me. They took enough. They took
They
enough.
stripped us down to naked,
Yes, and I'm not
but
going to
that's
become
okay
them.
because God rebuilt us. So
But I'm not going to become them. Once I do that, then they win.
we'll never become them. And we won't allow that. And you're right, Sheila. Once we do that, if we do that, they will win. And Satan can't win. He is not worthy. He's not worthy. He's not. He never
No.
will be. So from the ashes, we rise up. We put on our full armor. We march forward because we're in the fight. We're in this fight. We're not giving up. We already won the fight. It's up ahead. It's already been won. It's been written. So it's just all part of the program. But we're there, and we've been called upon, and we have a duty, responsibility to not
Yeah,
give
this
up.
is this and the gloves are off now. I mean,
That's
it
right.
was seriously the
No gloves were
we're
ever needed.
so much further in this than anyone can possibly even know.
It's right around the corner. It's approaching quickly. And I just hope everyone can see that. And there's so many I know that can't, especially the sleeping. And all we can do, guys, is try and try to wake up as many as we can while we can. But at the end of the day,
Absolutely.
like Sheila said, even with our children and everything, you can only do what you can do. Everybody is accountable for their own souls. I mean, that includes me, you, everyone. We're all accountable. And at the end of the day, we knew that probably before we ever even came into this world. I mean, we were born with that right here. That's why they call it the living word of God. There's nothing that we didn't know prior to or afterwards. It's always been, it was built into our DNA. So it's a choice. At the end of the day, it's a choice. Hopefully, we'll make the right ones, all of us. But I think all of you here in Morgellons, I believe, is just us spitting the crap out so that we can rise to the occasion. It's
Yeah.
just me thinking out loud, but that was the first thing that ever came into my head because you learn to trust this over this. And when this first happened to me, the first thing I knew right away was that, thank you, Lord, I'm spitting this out because I could clearly see that normal human behavior wouldn't be like my family treated me had it not been the case. That was not the family I grew up with. That's how I knew. I was spitting it out. I had eyes to see, ears to hear now. I had a soul that knew. And I look at everyone else and I see them sleeping. Therefore, they're keeping it in. We're spitting it out. Nothing's going to change my mind. I knew it from the second it happened to me. I'm not even joking. I knew it from that second. Wasn't happy about it. Don't get me wrong. I bitched a lot, but I knew. I knew that I was spitting it out and they were keeping it in, and I was blessed in more ways than I understood. Sure does hurt, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hurts a lot. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you for saying that. Thank you, guys all. Thank you, Sheila, little Sheila Loya, and then thank you, Sheila, for Sheila Roeder. Sorry, the two Sheilas. Thank you, Sheila Roeder, again, because you don't even understand how much you've helped so many others as well. And just doing this and it's just how you you approach every day. What I've learned about you is that you got this positive outlook. You love on your grandkids. You're this wonderful grandmother and wonderful mother, and you take life by the horns and you just do what you can with the best of it. You throw out the bad and you take in the good, and you know that life's threw some freaking hard ass crap at you, but you just tackle it by the horns and be like, nope, not today, Satan. And I love that about you. Love that about you because I know that you have sacrificed so much, so much,
We all
you
have.
know.
We
So
all have.
thank you. And I just want you to know it doesn't go unseen.
And just so you know, you're not alone. You have family.
Not anymore. Not
That's right.
anymore.
That's right.
Thank you. And you've been a very loyal and faithful friend. And I just love you so much for that. So thank
Yeah.
you.
I
Thank you
love you too.
all of you. And we're here for you. Sheila is wonderful. And I'm pretty decent. So no, I have nothing but love for all of you. I really do. So we're here. And I know I just got off work from being out of town for a week, and I got to leave out of town again tomorrow. Sheila has given so
Oh,
much of
that's the
herself to
other
her
thing I wanted to
grandbabies, and
say.
she's
The people that are going through this, um, there is something to the witching hour, and
3
So
a.m.
I don't want to talk. I don't want to tell. I don't want to sound like, I'm running from it.
You're not running
But
for it. You're
I
just not
made a,
welcoming it.
but I made a deal like with myself, like,
Amen.
and I know that it's hard to sleep with Morgellons, but after a certain hour,
Just don't look after a certain hour.
I don't. I don't have a choice. If I have to take Penny outside, we got to go.
Yeah. Well,
But
don't. What I'm saying is, don't let it consume you.
yeah, so well, what did she say? What did Trish say that time? You're a um what did she say about the witching hour? But it really made sense. What'd she
Oh,
say?
that's when
It
all the
was,
crazies come out.
well, yeah, no, but she said you were a conduit or conduit.
You're a conduit to.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
an
yeah.
open door for them to have
Yes,
their way, if you allow it,
yes.
of course. If you let
So,
them
so
allow it.
so it's really hard for me and Lisa to get together because I shut down at a certain
Yeah,
time, and God love her, that's her quiet time to do this. And
I
I'm just
have
like,
no time off ever. I work
and we're an
around the
hour
clock,
different, so
so
I get pushed like it's 11:59 here.
yeah,
Imagine
it's
what's going through
hard.
my
And
head.
you
Yeah,
have
I'm
been up
already like,
long enough, and I appreciate you.
no. It's just that I like to have that peace in me,
I
even
agree.
if I see
We
it.
we all need that.
Yeah, even if I see it, but God says, Jesus says, rest on me. Rest on me. And what does he say above all? Keep your peace.
Well, that's
Keep
why I have
your
footprints
peace.
tattooed down my torso. It was
But
then
he
that I
says,
carried you. It
keep your
says
peace. No matter what you're going through, keep your peace. And I
Derek
and I
in is
intend to
correct.
do that.
3 a.m. ritual hour.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
intend to
keep
do
your
that.
peace, though. Keep your peace, guys. It's for sure, for real. Like I said,
Yeah,
I mean, I
you have
literally
to.
tattooed on me the things that I need to remember, and also the things that one day somebody's going to be like, "Are you on this side or this side?" And I'll be like, "Look at my body. Whose side do it look like I'm on?" And I'm not saying go get inked up. I'm just saying that was my way of reminding myself every day of who I belong to, and also reminding myself of my strength, and also pretty much a slap in Satan's face. And you're welcome, Satan. Couldn't have felt like slapping you better. So, but yeah, you're right. We need to
Yeah.
definitely avoid those hours though. And it is late, and I'm not gonna lie. I've been sick. I've got a broken arm. My dog died, last week, and my daughter was COVID. And I'm not even gonna say. I don't even know what I had. I'm not
And
even
I
gonna
feel
say
so
that
bad because I
word.
brought my dog home. I'm
I know. I'm
sorry, and
so
thank
glad.
you.
I knew that. Here was the deal. Like, you love your dog, and I knew that you were a person that would be so happy because that's how my dog makes me. And I'm just so glad to see pictures of you. And thank you for sharing those with me. You
Oh, you're
deserve that,
welcome.
baby.
No, thank you. Thank
Oh no, I
you.
didn't do anything. I'm just so glad to see you with the baby, though. It's like it makes my heart sore because when I'm sad, I'm missing mine. I can look at somebody else and see they have happiness, and you deserve that more than anyone. So very much
Yeah,
so. You are an
she's my
amazing
best
person,
friend.
and you ask for very little, and you do so much for everyone. So thank you.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you
I
so
love you
much. But
guys.
I love the pictures, so please share them all the time. I love them.
Absolutely.
And
But
the grandbabies. Grandbabies too. Love
absolutely,
those.
yeah, absolutely. But
All right,
I'm gonna
guys.
go because it's after 12,
Yeah. Much
and
love,
I
guys.
try to keep that rule for myself. So,
Let's do this. Let's do the dang thing. So, love all of you on here tonight. Love everyone that's not here. Love all the future. We love you guys. We have nothing but love. So, and thank you, Sheila, Loya, Derek, like all of you guys tonight because my brain is damaged a little bit. I had brain damage. Yeah, that's what I have. So, good night.
good
Love you
night.
guys. Thank you, Sheila. Mwah.
Bye bye, babe.
Sweet dreams.